Hello students, in the previous video we discussed this general description of the flower. So now in this video we will discuss about the detailed description of the flower, which is in shortcut called as flower in detail. So under this detailed description we will discuss about perianth, aestivation, calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. So first let us discuss about this perianth. What is this perianth? So we know that in a typical flower, four whorls will be there, and among these four whorls, the first two whorls are non-essential, and the next two whorls are essential. And these non-essential organs of the flower are also called as perianth. So the other name for perianth is chlamydion. And the meaning of chlamydion is dress or clothes. So I hope now you are understanding. In a flower, we will find some colorful structures, sepals and petals. And they are the clothes of the flower which will give attraction to the flower. But now let us say whether all flowers are having this perianth or not. Some flowers will have the perianth, and the flowers with perianth are called chlamydious flowers. Okay, and the flowers without perianth are called achlamydious flowers. There is a technical term, and they can be called as naked flowers. And such naked flowers you will find very rarely. And let us take some examples like euphorbia and poinsettia, or with achlamydious flowers. Now, when we come to the chlamydious flowers, and we have to check whether the two whorls are occupied by this chlamydion or only one whorl. So, in some flowers, the perianth will occupy a single whorl, and such flowers are called monochlamydious flowers. With a single whorl of perianth. And in majority of the flowers, we find the perianth occupying two whorls, and the flowers with two whorls of perianth are called as dichlamydious flowers. With two whorls of perianth. Now, the examples for these monochlamydious flowers: amaranthus, achyryanthus, bougainvillea, and also beta vulgaris, that is beetroot, They're all with single wall of perianth. And majority of the angiospermic flowers will have dichlamydous flowers. So, for example, we have three families in the syllabus. The flowers of Fabaceae are dichlamydous. The flowers of Solanaceae are dichlamydous. The flowers of Liliaceae are also dichlamydous. But now we have to check whether we are able to differentiate these two worlds of perianth or not. And when you look at the flowers of monocots, okay, the outer world and inner world, both worlds will have the similar colored perianth members. That's why we can't differentiate. But in majority of dicot flowers, you find the outer world will be green in color and the inner world will have bright colors, generally other than green. That's why based on whether we can differentiate or not, so these are called homochlamydous flowers. Homochlamydous when both are having the same color. So that's why, okay, I will tell you about this here. If they can be differentiated, we call them as what? Heterochlamydous flowers. Okay, so in heterochlamydous flower, you can differentiate the outer whorl as what? Sepals, and the inner whorl will be identified as what? Petals. Then what about here? Both are having same color, generally white color, and that's why these perianth members are called tepals. I hope now you are getting my point, and the example for this is what? Monocots. And the monocot family which we have in the syllabus is Liliaceae. Liliaceae family members. And heterochlamydous flowers you will find in all other families like what? Fabaceae, Solanaceae. They are what? Heterochlamydous flowers. So that is about the perianth, and now we will discuss about the second aspect. Okay, estivation. Now let us discuss about this estivation and what is this estivation. So the mode of arrangement of perianth members, the mode of arrangement of perianth members. What are these perianth members? They can be tepals when they are not differentiated, or they can be sepals, or they can be petals. In bud condition, in bud condition is called estivation. And this estivation is basically of four types. And you can see these four types here on the board: valvate, twisted, imbricate, and vexillary. Okay, in valvate, you'll find these perianth members. Okay, here I drew sepals, and the sepals are arranged side by side without overlapping. And when there is no overlapping, there won't be any underlapping. And that kind of arrangement is called valvate estivation. This we encounter in the calyx of Hypomea, calyx of Fabaceae, calyx of Solanaceae, and even tepals of Liliaceae. Okay, means what? Sepals of Fabaceae, sepals of Solanaceae, and tepals of Liliaceae. I hope you are understanding here. Why I used tuples here? Because Liliaceae monocot family, and in that family we can't differentiate sepals and petals. That's why we call them as what? Tuples. And let us come to the second one, that is twisted estivation. And here you can see, out of the two margins of the perion member, one is outside and one is inside. Means what? One is overlapping and the other margin is underlapped. So here you will find 1:1 ratio of overlapping and underlapping. Okay, you can see like this. So this arrangement is called twisted estivation. And this you will find in the corolla of China rose, that is Hibiscus rosa sinensis, and the corolla of Datura, or majority of the members of Solanaceae family will exhibit this twisted estivation. And when we come to this imbricate estivation, and here irregular arrangement will be there, and one is completely underlapped and one is completely overlapped, or one is completely inside and one is completely outside, and three are showing overlapping, underlapping alternately. Okay, so that means the formula is 1 plus 1 plus 3. Means what? One is okay, inside, one is completely outside, and three alternate. These three are alternate. That kind of estivation is called imbricate estivation, and this you will find in the flowers of Cassia gulmohar. And which parts will show this imbricate estivation? Not the calyx. Okay, corolla of Cassia and corolla of gulmohar will exhibit this imbricate estivation. And now let us see the fourth type, vexillary estivation. And this vexillary estivation is also called papilionaceous. Okay, and here this you will find it is a characteristic feature of the family Fabaceae. The corolla of Fabaceae will exhibit this vexillary estivation. And here in the corolla of Fabaceae will show trimorphic petals. That means three types of petals you will find. So there is one large petal which is towards the posterior side, and this is called standard petal or vexillum. Standard or vexillum. Okay, and that's why this is named as vexillary estivation. And two lateral petals are there which are called wings or alae, and the two anterior petals towards the bract. Okay, so which are fused and form a boat-shaped structure and enclose the essential organs, and these are called keel petals or carina. Okay, so that is what vexillary estivation. This is an identification character of the family Fabaceae, and because of this type of arrangement, actually, when you observe the flower externally, it looks like a butterfly. That's why it is called papilionaceous corolla. Okay, so that is about the second one, estivation, and now we shall discuss about the calyx and later the corolla. So calyx is the first whorl of the flower. First whorl of the flower, and it is the outermost whorl of the flower. And the members of this calyx are called sepals. And what is the function of these sepals? The sepals are actually meant for protecting the inner parts of the flower. So protection, inner whorls, and these sepals may be present freely. They may be free. Means what, they are not fused. That means you can see individual sepals here, and then we use this technical term, that is polysepalous calyx. When they are fused, then the calyx is called gamosepalous calyx. And also, you might have noticed one thing, that if when you observe the flower bud or flower in a bud condition, what you will find on the surface? Only sepals. Means what, they are completely protecting the inner tender parts of the flower. So that's what the production. And what happens to these sepals after fertilization? Generally, after fertilization, the sepals will wither and fall, and such sepals are called caducous sepals. So, which will wither immediately after, wither and fall after fertilization. After fertilization. But in some members, okay, the sepals will remain even after fertilization, and such sepals are called persistent sepals. Persistent sepals, and this is a characteristic feature of the family Solanaceae. They remain even after fertilization, and the best example is what, brinjal or the eggplant. And you know that this brinjal will have one crown like structure. Can you tell me what is this crown actually? It is nothing but persistent calyx or persistent sepals. That is about the calyx. And now let us discuss about the corolla. So in the floral formula, the symbol for corolla is what, C, and in the floral formula, the symbol for calyx is what, K. And the corolla occupies which whorl? Second whorl of the flower. And what you call the members of the corolla, petals. And these petals will have different colors to attract the insects. So they are meant for attraction, and so that the insects will facilitate the pollination, or insects will help in pollination. Means what, they carry pollens from one flower to other flower. And this corolla also of two types. That is what, the corolla may be free or they may be fused. And when they are free, we use one word just like here, polysepalous, and this is called polypetalous corolla. And when they are fused, okay, we use this technical term, that is what, gamopetalous corolla. And this polypetalous corolla will appear in different forms, like you see, they may be one, a cruciform corolla. Means what, here, okay, no. So, how many petals will be there? Four petals, and they are arranged like a cross. That's why it is called cruciform corolla, and this you will find in the family Brassicaceae. So, Brassica is what, mustard. And we know that another one, we are familiar with the rose, and the corolla in rose is called rosaceous corolla. And here, five or multiple of five or many petals will be there, and they are all arranged like this. So there is rosaceous corolla. And the third type is what papilionaceous corolla. Papilionaceous corolla, which actually here the meaning of papilion is what butterfly, and we discussed already. And here you will find one large petal, which is attractive, which is meant for attracting the insects, and you will find two lateral petals, and you will find two fused petals, which are fused to make one boat shaped structure, and this is vexillum, and these are okay, wings are alae, and this is what keel petals. There is papillus corolla. Okay, so rosaceous example, okay, I'm giving rose plant, and papilionaceous, I need already we know that is fabaceae. So the corolla of fabaceae will exhibit papilionaceous corolla. Like that, there is polypetalous corolla. Here all petals are free. And when we come to the fused ones, so they may appear like a test tube, and then it is called tubular corolla, as in the case of disc florets. Or it may appear like a funnel. Okay, and this is called infundibuliform. Infundibuliform. And the example for this infundibuliform is okay, datura. Or sometimes it may look like a bell shaped corolla, and this is called campanulate. And there is one plant that is named after this corolla only, that is campanula. And okay, sometimes it may be like a wheel. So this is wheel shaped corolla, and which is called rotate. And the example for this is brinjal. So these are the various shapes which we come across in the corolla, and but the main function of corolla is what, attracting insects to facilitate pollination. And in the next video, we will discuss about the essential organs of the flower, androecium and gynoecium.